This is Mac OS Ken.
The App Store steering fix stays for now, an AI-based downgrade for Apple shares, and guess what's keeping Apple intelligence out of China? It is Thursday, the 5th of June, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Insta360's new X5. Get an invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle at store.insta360.com with code MacOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. While the larger battle goes on, Apple has lost a round in its epic Fortnite anti-steering third-party payments fight. A piece from Reuters says the Cupertino company's request to pause recent requirements while it appeals the whole Megillah has been declined. As mentioned here yesterday, a Mac Rumors piece from a little over a month ago said Apple was found to be in violation of a 2021 injunction that required it to allow developers to direct customers to third-party purchase options on the web using in-app links. The judge in the case took Apple to task for amazingly restrictive requirements when it came to letting developers steer customers to the developer's own sites. Apple was also chastised for demanding high commissions for purchases made outside the App Store. While Apple did address those concerns, it said it would appeal the recent ruling. It also filed an emergency appeal, basically looking to reverse the anti-steering changes until the appeals process had run its course. Land on a whammy. Reuters says the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on Wednesday rejected Apple's request to put the provisions on hold as the tech company appeals the judge's order. Apple shares got served a downgrade on Wednesday. Yahoo Finance ran a piece that had Needham and Company moving ticker symbol AAPL from buy to hold. The piece cites a familiar-sounding list of negatives working against Apple currently, including lagging sales in China and a sluggish smartphone market. But what's turned off Needham for now is Apple's apparent back-of-the-pack place in artificial intelligence. According to the report, analyst Laura Martin explained in a note to clients Wednesday that Apple is currently trading at a more expensive multiple than it has historically, just as the rise of generative AI threatens to disrupt the iPhone maker's business. Pulling quotes from her note, every big tech company is building platforms designed to displace Apple's integrated hardware and software products in a generative AI world. And while peers like Microsoft, Google, and Meta are launching foundational models and generative AI platforms, Apple still lacks a competitive large language model or a developer ecosystem around generative AI capabilities. And Apple believes that it makes its own weather. This philosophy reflects a deep-seated cultural belief that Apple operates on its own terms, largely independent of external trends, competitive pressures, or even macroeconomic conditions. Apple's culture, Martin says, breeds complacency, which lowers urgency, just as generative AI disruption threatens to retool the entire U.S. economy and makes Apple slow to acknowledge negative shifts in the regulatory environment and rising geopolitical risks. Thus, she and hers believe that for this stock to work, it must have the catalyst of an iPhone replacement cycle, which they do not foresee in the next 12 months. Until then, they believe that $170 to $180 a share is a better entry level. That said, she indicates that Apple could accelerate growth by deciding to aggressively pursue an advertising revenue stream. Worth remembering, Laura Martin is the analyst who spent 2023 saying Apple was about to buy Disney. Doesn't mean she's wrong this time, but she was really wrong on that one. Do you mind if I go off for a minute? I'm going to go off for a minute. Here's the thing I don't understand. What does she think all of these AI assistants and LLMs are going to run on? The Humane Pin? The Rabbit R1? I know Johnny Ive and Sam Altman have this idea about moving us away from screens, but for the mass of people, that's not going to happen. No time soon, anyway. Say something to me, and I forget it. Show me something. I still forget it, but at least I can go back and look at it. Also, how am I going to watch a movie or play a game without a screen or some kind of visual input? Personally, I don't do a lot of gaming, but a lot of people do, and they spend a lot of money doing it. Is AI just going to tell them where the row of corn on their cozy farm simulator is, or tell them where that guy in Fortnite is shooting from? Is it going to describe TikTok videos to people? Martin is looking for the catalyst of an iPhone replacement cycle, which was kind of addressed by B of A analyst Wamsi Mohan earlier this week. Writing on his thinking, a piece from Barron said one reason for Mohan's continued optimism around Apple is the vast number of Apple products now in use around the world. He put the number at more than 2.3 billion, saying it makes results somewhat predictable because many users will inevitably upgrade their devices due to age, breakages, or just plain desire for a new gadget. It's not the explosion of sales for which Martin is apparently looking, but it's not nothing. Glasses, by the way. Glasses with a layer of AR will be the thing that replaces smartphones if anything replaces smartphones in the near future, and you can fight me. But don't hit me in the face, and try not to be mean, and on second thought, let's not fight. Anyway, Needham and Company has downgraded Apple shares. If a recent piece in MarketWatch is correct, expect more to follow relatively soon. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Insta360, and their new 360-degree camera, X5. Over and over again, one of the most impressive-looking features for X5 is the hardware-software combo that turns your one camera into a few. The X5 lets you shoot 360-degree video, then choose the best angles later with reframing tools in the Insta360 app. It's like a multicam setup in one device. No extra gear, no extra cameras, no retakes, and no missed moments. All of that supported by flow state stabilization, removing shakes and bumps, keeping your footage silky smooth. All of that and improved low light shooting, improved audio capture, 3-hour battery life, and a range of accessories to take your shots even further. Head to store.insta360.com to see what they have and use code MacOSKen for a free 45-inch selfie stick with your X5 standard bundle purchase. The pull disappears from 360-degree footage, leaving people to wonder how you get the shots you got. It's a $24.99 value, but it is free for the first 30 people who go to store.insta360.com and buy an X5 standard bundle with code MacOSKen. Shoot every angle at once. Get your free invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle with code MacOSKen. Don't forget that code MacOSKen at store.insta360.com. Wondering when Apple Intelligence will launch in China? You apparently get to keep doing that. The Financial Times ran a piece Wednesday saying that the partnership between Apple and Alibaba to bring Apple Intelligence to the Middle Kingdom is being stymied by the trade war between China and the US. Secret people said to know something about something say Apple and Alibaba applications with Chinese authorities are stalled due to increasing geopolitical uncertainties between China and the US. Chinese authorities, Alibaba, and Apple all declined to comment for the Financial Times report. Well, here's something that's something. A piece from The Guardian says members of Parliament in the UK have accused Apple and Google of profiting from phones being stolen by organized crime gangs run out of Britain, Algeria, and China. I'll be honest, I'm having trouble understanding the charge. In evidence to the House of Commons Science and Technology Committee, says the piece, the Metropolitan Police said they wanted smartphone companies to start preventing stolen devices from accessing their cloud services so that they were no longer smart, therefore dramatically reducing their resale value. For its part, an Apple rep said the company was concerned about disconnections being used for fraud, with bad actors wanting to get data and the power to delete accounts for blackmail. The rep also refuted the idea that Apple would benefit from people having their phones stolen and being disconnected from their lives, pointing to the many hundreds of millions Apple's invested in designing anti-theft protections. And finally today, a trailer for a kids show that I missed last week. Apple TV Plus issued a press release for the 8-episode animated series Not a Box. Inspired by the award-winning children's picture book of the same name, the release says the series follows bright-eyed bunny Riley, who, with just one cardboard box, imagines magical worlds full of new friends and fantastic adventures. Apple says the show invites young viewers and their families to create, explore, and celebrate as they step into a rich world of environments, characters, and encounters that is as limitless as their imaginations. There's something darkly amusing about a show meant to show kids the joys of simple imagination, being served to them on an iPad, an iPhone, a streaming device, or a smart TV. Cynical much, you ask? No, just cynical enough. Not a Box hits Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 13th of June. You can catch the trailer now on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Insta360's new X5. Get an invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle at store.insta360.com with code macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macOSKen.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
DJ, drop a beat.